That's the whole point. It isn't for you. Yeah. So you're not going to get it. You can take notes all you want. You can do whatever, but basically the idea that we usually start from when we walk into satsang, which is the association of truth or whatever, a meeting on quote unquote non-duality, without knowing it in a lot of cases, we're living an assumption, and that assumption has come to many rude awakenings that it's sort of uncomfortable, or it feels like it has a noble calling, or it has some kind of narrative going on. But basically there's a premise that there's a you. And the whole message of non-duality is sort of questioning that assumption. So obviously I go to a meeting and I think I'm there to get something. And yet if the meeting really delivers the goods, you'll get nothing. And you'll feel like, hopefully, if it wasn't Zoom, we wouldn't probably have many questions. So you'll be frustrated that you're not getting the answer that you feel you need or you want. But the answer doesn't come from answering questions. It's recognizing the answer is asking the questions, basically. And that's fine and dandy. We need that here. But just to take it a little lightly, because it means so much for Paul to get it. Paul really needs it. Paul wants to get it. Paul feels like he deserves it. He's put a lot of time in. He's went to different continents. He studied. He went out of his way. He sat for 13 hours on not even a good cushion and stuff like that. Just drank lousy freaking vegetable soup once a day and lost like 20 pounds in 21 days. He feels like he's got something coming. That whole premise, no matter how subtle or how obvious, is really the obscuring of the fact that what you are is a fact. Yeah, you're not in the act of becoming what you are, and you are never in the act of unbecoming what you are. You've never left, so you don't have to arrive. Just like the old mantra, yoga mantra. It's been translated a lot of ways, but the way I saw it last time on a yoga studio wall was gone, gone, gone to the other shore upon arriving on having never left. Well, I mean, really, do you need to read a 500-page book? I mean, that's it right there. It's not we're not getting it, or it's just something that's blocking us. The idea of it's the us that's blocking us in a weird way. It's not the us that's blocking us, it's the me that's blocking us. The sense of being a long-lasting, independent, separate entity, that is a production, it's produced. It's a sense and a feeling that doesn't have a real cause. It's sort of manufactured. So there's a lot of activity that implies the product, but the product never gets made, yeah? That's the relief. The relief is when you see self as selfing. That's where the relief lies. There's no relief from self because you're already in the state of being relieved from self. We just don't think so because there is no self. There's no thing that's separate from everything else, yeah? So the selfing is what you're relieved of. And how does that look? Does the selfing stop? Not in this experience, but what happens is the lighting of the selfing isn't from the selfing. It's from the audience that's listening to the selfing. Yeah? We believe the selfing is bringing us something, but in fact we're giving it a meaning. Yeah? When that changes, when by hearing what you're not and the futility of trying to get non-duality from a dualistic reference point, when you really get that futility, because we have the ability to be convinced, we do, yeah? It doesn't mean you need a lot to be convinced. You may not need anything to be convinced, but you'll know in hindsight when the convincing has been convinced. Yeah, because there will be a letting, not even a letting go, a disarming where this movement that you didn't see as a movement, you saw it as Paul, yeah? But it's a mental movement. You didn't see it as a movement. You saw it as you that had all the other movements or witnessed the other movements. But it's a movement also. And when there's a loss of interest in that movement, then there's the sense of stillness. There's not stilling the movement. Yeah? The movement isn't gonna, it's like the old faith mind statement. The movement, which is activity, if it attempts to produce stillness, that's just more activity. Do you see the dilemma he was implying? So this movement that we call Paul, so we don't believe we're a movement. We believe we're a stationary, long-lasting, separate thing. Yeah? But in fact, that idea is a movement. Yeah? Some activity is producing that sense. The sense isn't, in other words, the scent of the plant of the flower isn't produced by the flower, it's injected into some idea, and then we get the sense of self. But it's not coming from self. Self isn't putting out a sense. There's a sense of self, but self isn't putting out any sense. It's not, it's like the I am that I am. See, it isn't the I am that I'm not, the I am that I am. Yeah? That's putting out presence. We're not putting out presence. We're inherently empty. That presence is being given to it. Yeah? The meaning has been given to it. So when you realize the futility of Richard or Paul or Jim or Mary, and it has nothing to do with the condition of Richard, Paul, Jim, and Mary, it doesn't mean that, all right, I'm not getting it now, but if I get in the right condition, I'll get it. No, it's not meaning that. It's not meaning that Richard has to go through a giant review and get altered and changed to a point where, like, banging out a chalice, like a steel chalice to receive something else. It's no. Richard can't get it. That's the beauty of the new message. Richard can't get it. It's not Richard and then, like in a hidden language, in this certain condition, can't get it. No, there's no requirement in there that could change the fact that Richard can't get it. Yeah? There's no requirement that you could fulfill that would finally let Richard get it. It's not going to happen. I mean, has it? I mean, if it hasn't happened by now, when the hell is it going to happen? Because, see, Richard thinks it's the happening. And so is waiting for what's always happening to happen to Richard. That doesn't work. Yes, it really doesn't. You had all the information you need about non-duality. You don't need any more information about non-duality. You don't need any more. It's like the fire is going quite well. You don't fuck unless you want to get rid of a lot of logs. It's not necessary to fucking keep stoking the fire. The thing is to let some of it take you somewhere where the statement will, like, it's sort of like an echo in the mountains in the winter. That echo can just create a huge avalanche, yeah? You don't have to keep yodeling. Just yodel a little, and then the echo of the yodel will do its job. It's not like constant yodeling, yeah? It just yodel, and then the fucking... What? Oh, this battery isn't good. Hold on. Just yodel, and then the shape of the emptiness will do the rest. It will amplify it, and the yodel will go on and on and on and on. I got to plug this thing in better. We have this huge problem here at this house. None of the chargers work. This isn't working either. All right, so hold on. Just rest in that echo for a minute. All right, it's charging now. So, sorry for the delay. So, yeah, I would feel, I don't know everyone personally, but I do know them impersonally, and I know you don't need any more unless you like it, yeah? But knowledge concerning non-duality isn't going to lead you any farther than it already has. It hopefully has failed you, and hopefully you're left with your own devices, because that's what it does. Non-duality doesn't arrest you, it disarms you, yeah? You find the futility of trying to reach for the prize. You don't have the equipment or the shape to get it, yeah? It can't be had. You're not going to grab it and put it into a clinch and then have it, yeah? So there's a great relief when you realize all that pressure that was put on Paul to become a superior, authentic Paul, or whatever magical, mystical narrative that it gets fed, you've hit a point where that's over, yeah? Over, yeah. And now you've lost interest in it as a topic, or as a goal, or as an adventure, or as an odyssey. And you've gained interest, I don't know, you'll find out what happens, yeah? But I'll tell you, the interest and intention, instead of enslaving you to a very noble idea of enlightenment and everything like that, it's still slavery, yeah? Yeah? Will be freed up and will enrich your day, yeah? And it will enrich people that get in contact with you without trying to enrich them, yeah? It'll be an enriching day, yeah? Day after day. And you'll be clear, finally, about the primary point, which is there's no primary point, really. It's just, yeah. And then you come here and we can enjoy, because sometimes a question triggers something else in me. So it goes down the rabbit hole farther than it was necessary before. And I see something more in the rabbit hole. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, so I hope you see the value of putting emphasis on the description of duality, not a description of non-duality. To look at the seer more than the seeing, yeah? To look at the doer more than the doing. Don't get fooled by all the different doings, yeah? All the different doings are being used to imply the one doer, yeah? I'm not thinking Paul did it, then Jim did it, then Mary did it, then Etta did it, then Richard did it. No, basically the narrative is pretty consistent in that. Whatever happens through this action figure, it was Paul doing it, hearing it, seeing it, tasting it, touching it, imagining it, thinking of it, yeah? So it's basic, it's constantly aiming at the target, but there's no target. It's sort of like that thing in, Zen, finger pointing at the moon, but in that example, there's a moon. Here, there's just pointing, and then the way we hear the pointing, there's an imaging that occurs. And then that imaging is what fuels the sense of self, yeah? And so every time there's a doing, there's a sense of you being the doer. There is, feel it. If you don't feel it, you will, if you have the eyes to see it. Every feeling is corralled by the one feeler. It's just what it is. Every feeling is attributed to the one feeler. Every thought is contributed to the one thinker. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like it's like sucking up this huge mural into like a ballpoint pen, just sucking it all up, yeah? Whatever. And non-duality has been made into something like everything else has been made into something. How could we base trying to go and hear descriptions of what's indescribable. What are you going to end up with? Your head is going to conjure up what it thinks it's going to mean. So the describing of the indescribable allows the head to produce concepts, and those concepts are another brick in the imaginary wall, in a way. They're going to have to be undone sooner or later, or lost interest in. Yeah? So, there you go.
Uh, Chris, you've had your hand up since the beginning. Is that a mistake? Anybody? Oh, and Randy raised his hand anyway. Go ahead, Randy.
Oh, yeah, Chris wasn't here? Okay. Hey, Paul.
Randy?
Hey, yeah. Okay. So you've talked a lot about the listening to the selfing and how it compels an action. And I was wondering, I'm suspecting that the withholding of an action or an expression is the other side of the coin kind of a thing. I was wondering if you could talk about the withholding as if it is basically the other side of a coin and how that might relate to playing God.
Well, see, the thing is, the withholding of interest and attention, if it succeeds in implying it's you that's withholding the interest and attention, that keeps going along. But when the interest and attention is moved off of something and there's a noticing of it and there's no one that noticed it, that's not the other side of the coin. Yeah? The other side of the coin is usually based on the one currency, Randy. We're not changing, we're not trying to stay on one side and not travel to the other side. We're questioning the axis of it, which is Randy. Yeah? So there's a loss of interest in Randy withholding everything, and there's a loss of interest in Randy fucking doing something based on thoughts and feelings. Yes? That's where the emphasis is. Yeah. Now, what you observe when you entertain certain ideas, then the thoughts that used to compel knee-jerk reactions very quickly aren't, that trigger isn't triggering anymore. Yes? And it's a boon for the action figure because the action figure is where the expression and the experience of the consequences land. Yeah? So now there's a great relief for the action figure because it's not putting its own foot in its own mouth every day. Yeah. So to me, that's part of the observation of traveling lighter. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I never know if you're saying yeah as like an East Coast expression or if you actually want me to like confirm that I'm following along.
Well, it's more of a confirming, at least you're hearing it. It doesn't mean you
Oh,
agree or
yes, yeah,
not.
I'm
Just
hearing.
hearing it. All right, that's all. Yeah, it's that that's what the year is. Because it's pointless to go somewhere if no one's following. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's also
So,
the lovely replay technology, so I feel like just letting it wash.
oh yeah, yeah. So remember the withholding of interest and attention, the mental state claims to be the one that's doing that, and the mental state claims the other side of the coin of I really fucked up. My head led me to fuck it, and I ripped that jewelry store off, right? But both of them, both no matter how good or bad it is in duality, both of them are easy prey for the mental state to claim, yeah, to put its little tail on the donkey. This is what we're attempting to bring to light so that you can see it instead of looking from its effects, yeah? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's the point. The point is the one quality that what comes after can't really fuck with is the quality of seeing or awareness. Yeah, that's pristine in and of itself. So it's when awareness is replaced with an idea that it's Randy who's aware, which is a pure after idea, not before awareness. Then it has a way of playing a role of obscuring, yes? Because the awareness now is seemingly forgotten and it becomes part of the after with Randy as the before, yes? So now Randy can dictate or have a narrative, well, I'm not feeling that aware now, or I'm getting more aware because I just went on this trip or this retreat, yes? You see? But the
Yeah,
seeing in and of itself is before everything else that's arising. So you can see what says that it's already arisen. You can see the arising of it, and that's selfing. Yeah, that's it. It's almost like a curse. The magician or the shaman is chanting, 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 and then the selfing finally brings the self into into appearance, and then the self says it was before everything else. Yeah.
it's something that I've been looking at is the
Let's
sense
get
that
the
it's
question. Get in here. How do you just squeeze another question though?
no, it's not a question, kind of an observation,
Oh, all
or I could withhold it.
right. No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just the the sense that like Randy that I'm aware it supposedly comes through like the senses and the two eyes and everything, and then the whole production. It's like the whole production of being whatever I am in the space. Like that whole thing is that's like the staged production or something like that. Like the
Yeah, yeah. But see, when it says I'm aware, it's the mental state pictures you as a body.
yeah,
It's not picturing you as awareness being aware. That would be redundant. It's you as something else that has awareness. Yeah.
yeah, that's subtle.
Well, there's the duality of it. So when it says I am aware, I isn't. It's not implying it's awareness. It's implying it's a thing, basically. That's aware. That's the duality, which is non-duality is a negation of. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. It's like we just did a frog or autopsy in biology. You open it up. Wow, there's. I'm aware. Would awareness ever say I'm aware? Obviously not. It's aware. When Paul say I'm running would be in relation to Paul not running. You see, there's a lot of time Paul's not running, so then there's running, and then suddenly Paul's running. It's all duality. Yes, this is what the negation is. It doesn't matter. It's not a special kind of duality. It's all of it. It's the way it goes. Yeah. So it's not like, oh, there's the one, there's the bad duality. It's not bad or good. It's just duality. And non-duality is a negation of that. That's all it is. Non-duality isn't giving any, because that would be duality, putting good or bad or less or more. It's just negating the whole movement. Yeah. The whole movement. Like if the whole thing could be seen as a slinky, Yeah, it's saying this part of the slinking is no different than this part of the slinking. Yeah, yeah. So
It's down an
it
infinite
seems like, oh,
staircase.
bad, good, bad, yes, but in fact, yeah, it's neat. It's just an imaginary activity. It's like blowing, inhaling and exhaling through the same nose at the same time. You know what I mean? It's an interpretive way that we're formatted to see things, and not and that attempting to use that form of seeing, called, let's say, called self-centeredness, is the blindness to what's seeing. It's just the activity of appearing to be blind to what's seeing because you're using what you're looking for to look for it. Yeah, without knowing it, you're using what you're looking for, awareness, with awareness. Yeah, it sounds like I'm using awareness as Paul. So Paul wants to become aware of what? I don't know, awareness, yeah? But really, yeah, it's awareness being claimed as Paul looking for itself. You see how that wouldn't work? The looking for
I
it
see
would be a
that.
movement or an activity that would blur the fact of what you're not. Yeah, you will be again subtly taking Paul to be something other than awareness, using awareness to find awareness. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
So hold on a second too. So what happens is, if Paul gets really, really screwed up, then Paul says, again, playing a huge relevant role, Paul says, I'm not aware. Yeah. I need to become more aware as Paul. Do you see it? It now plays a relevant role once again concerning awareness. You don't need to become more aware. Just become aware there isn't a Paul. Yeah. See what you're not, and you'll find out what you are. And then it won't be Paul trying to be aware. It'll be awareness. Not trying fucking anything. Yeah? And that to me is what we call the dog shit awareness. It's no big, it's not fireworks or nothing. It's just incessantly onness, yeah? That never takes a breath. It never inhales or exhales. It's just incessantly on. There's no on and off. It doesn't, slow up and then speed up. It just is. Just completely saturated. Not one part becoming or one part unbecoming. It's just saturated in an essence or a flavor that can't be tasted by non-duality. I mean, by duality. Duality can't taste it. The two tongues of duality can't pick up the taste of that. Yeah? I can't be the one who gets non-duality. That doesn't go with it. Yeah? So it's beautiful because it frustrates the hell out of what you're not, to the hopes that it fucking gives up finally. And in the giving up, all the effort it made was proven to be successful because it realized it was all failed. Yeah? It was a failed system. That's how a failed system can be successful at one point. It shows you it's a failed system. Yeah? It, the days of Paul trying to become aware are way, 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 way. Bye bye. Yeah? Paul becoming aware is a affirmation that it's unaware. Yes, which is the lie of all lies. When your own nature is awareness, there's no fucking way you're going to be unaware. You may be unconscious of shit, but you're not unaware of shit. Yeah, a lot of shit may be getting stored and avoided and denied, but yeah.
That's a good distinction. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Stephen, Mike,
Stefan, can you hear us?
Stefan.
I guess, yeah. Uh,
Can you hear
Stefan?
me now? Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, great. It's the first time I'm doing this. So I can just connect to this question or what you said right now with awareness and consciousness. Um, Listening to you, what I do since a few weeks, um, brings me to the experience or to the thought maybe that also meditation and experiencing the emptiness, just the consciousness, or being aware of awareness, what I'm driven to do every day since many years, but that this experience and this abiding in consciousness or awareness is still part of the system, because of course there is awareness, but a slight, of course, I'm experiencing the awareness, it's still true. This is my fear now, but which would be also a big releasement. So maybe that finally I can give up to one day, if I just, am I long enough in this consciousness and in this state that
Now, now,
that the door
now,
opens.
now.
It's now.
I don't know why I'm losing battery power, but go ahead. I'm going to try to. Why not now,
Mm.
Stefan? Just drop it now. And see? But Stefan
But
can't drop it, so fucking
I
drop
can't stop.
Stefan. Yeah, so
Stefan
don't
can't.
worry, you're not Stefan. The beautiful thing about this message is it bypasses the need to let go. It's question, was there anyone holding on, really? So, yeah.
But I have the feeling it has to come from the one who puts the cloth, the who shuts the door, who shutted the door once. Only this power can also open the door. I can not do it, and I can on it also not do to get rid of myself. I can't.
Exactly, but I'm telling you, the door's open. The door's always open.
Intellectually I
That's like
understand this.
there's the gateless gate, the open secret. This
Yeah,
isn't like anything's closed or hidden.
but if it's not my
I gotta move.
reality, yeah.
Well, I know it may not be your reality, but let's say it's reality.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sorry, I'm trying to get another charger. This one. All right. Yeah. But hey, Stefan, however, just come if you like, listen to it. This shouldn't, if it starts cooking and the pot like boils over, uh, what boiled over was the unnecessary ingredient of Stefan. Yeah, I'm not into trying to. There's no pressure here. It's just the ideas to entertain, and then hopefully you'll just see what's happening. Yeah, and then take it from there. Grace abounds. There's always grace. But the
It's
idea
great.
that the door is closed somehow to Stefan, and then Stefan has to do a lot of stuff, that's just a whole lot of Stefan, I think. Yeah.
Yes, the pressure is in me. In me, I just can't stop to. I had some 2 heavy years with sickness and so, and it's also a point where I can rest and get some strength and forget everything, being in this state and hoping. But the pressure is in me. The life gives me this pressure, but
Well,
it's
maybe you can
conditioning.
just see, hey, you know, one of the greatest things I found in hearing satsang is a certain giving myself permission. Yeah. Yeah. So if you can't stop,
Mm,
then so what? It'll burn itself out. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Don't add any more uh, weight onto it. Yeah. Just say, hey, if you can't stop doing what you're doing, meditating, whatever it is, then continue. And it's just like someone who's an addict or an alcoholic. I do them a disservice by trying to keep them from their bottom. The biggest convincing they're going to finally get is through life itself. So do what you're doing, and then it'll convince you that one day there'll be no need to do any of that. Yeah? And you'll be let off Stefan's hook, and there'll be an open air permission to be fucking okay. Not with any requirements needing to be
Mm.
met or anything. You'll just find yourself accepted for once. Yes, you'll
And
be in
is
a. Oh,
mm,
yeah.
isn't then just one last thing, this experience or the this consciousness and awareness, isn't it then a product of the brain also? Is it's in me?
It's not
It's
an experience. It's not an experience. You're not having an experience of consciousness. There's an awareness of it. There's
mm,
something going on that's always seemingly going on. An experience has a beginning and an end. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
There's no experience of consciousness. There's experiences in consciousness, but there's no experience of consciousness. Yeah.
Well, when I meditate, this is a brain thing or not? If
I don't know. I don't know what happens when. I'm sure it affects the brain, and maybe the brain waves change, and you feel a little calmer than you usually do, and then there's a claiming of that as a bigger and better Stefan. Yeah, and then you get established in a bigger and better Stefan who wants to keep on getting bigger and better, and the bondage of self continues.
yeah,
You don't think peak experiences aren't claimed by the mental state to imply you?
it
Epiphanies are. Everything
yeah,
the mental state arises and attempts to say it was the one that had the epiphany. Yeah? It's not, there's no forbidden territory it won't attempt to claim. If you're there, the mental state is going to arise. Yeah? And it's going to arise and claim what it comes in contact with. If it comes in
mhm.
contact that there's an experiencing happening, it will frame it as Stefan's having an experience when there was just experiencing. Yeah?
I understand, and this I learned through what you say. This is such a big help, and it makes it becomes clear that everything what I do, even this meditating, even this experience, the mental state just catches it and builds and emphasizes this person. I'm the doer, and this ownership, this phantom
That's awesome,
idea.
bro. Stay there.
This
A lot gets revealed right there. That's a lot
yes.
gets revealed.
Yeah,
Yeah?
but that's through you. That's great. That's incredible.
Well, it's
Thank
not
you
through
for this.
me, it's for whatever, yes. But
Yes.
I'm just sharing what I was shown because I was there was two things I was pretty interested in life. One was spirituality, one was drug addiction. Yeah. I actually was a better practitioner of drug addiction than spirituality, but I don't see them as very different. And uh, in the failing of all that, a lot was revealed. And I could I heard long time ago there was a book by Trungpa
Mm.
Rinpoche,
I
Spiritual
read it.
Materialism, Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism. The first page it said, the first paragraph was, and I don't like the word ego, but he said, this is one thing you need to know. Whatever the ego gets brought into contact with, it will take advantage of. That's exactly what the selfing does. The selfing uses a verb to imply a noun. It can't generate a verb. Yeah? It can't make a noun do anything. There's no noun. It generates a noun by claiming the verb. So there's experiencing, and the experiencer comes out of the claiming of the experiencing. And then people think they got to stop experiencing. They miss the whole point. Experiencing is going on. Feeling is going on. Super high states of peace are going on. They're all going on. And if you're there sufficiently, the mental state, if it can regroup, it's going to claim what's happening. That's what it does. So you might as well see it, because if you don't see it, you're going to be looking from it. And looking from it is the blindness. Yes, it's the imagined blindness. You're using sight to find sight. Yeah, you're using sight to find sight. All you got to do is stop and see, hey, you are what you're looking for. Yeah, not as Paul. Obviously, I haven't been looking for Paul since I became conscious after like 3 years old. I've been trying to get out of Paul my whole life. Yeah, but
the same
I
here.
can't get out of an imaginary thing by an imaginary thing. So the best retreats I ever were on were 10-day cocaine retreats. They were the best fucking retreats I ever did, because everything was ripped to the rawness, and I was just getting fucking new assholes placed in me. Drilled. I couldn't go to sleep. And then my head was just, maybe it took off the gloves and it just revealed itself. Thank God I lived through it. And then it came to pass that certain things changed and this shit downloaded. And I had seen the beast from head to toe. And it is us, really. So, yeah.
Thanks for sharing this. Thanks.
Come back, yeah. Hang out with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Stefan.
Thanks, Stefan. Kate.
Kate. Where is Kate?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm trying to find you, but
I got a.
go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if this is a question.
Oh, I see you, Kate. Yes.
A question or a comment, but just regarding that total onness that you spoke about, I've had that experience of just like this overwhelming experience occasionally, and I really do feel that consciousness from when I was a little kid has just being able to experience is just like totally shut down most of the time, or I'm experiencing it as that door being closed. And I keep having this looping thought of wanting to understand why consciousness does duality. And I know that's just more denial of my experience. So it's like like you talk about the finger trap, like you have to relax to get out of it. And it just feels like
The relaxing comes from seeing you were never in it. It's not relaxing allows you to get out of it. The relaxing comes from seeing you were never in it. It's different. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There was an activity of Chinese thumb torture, but there was no you to be found in it all. That's how you relax. Yeah. And again, why not ask, who is it that wants to ask consciousness why? Yeah.
Right.
And then if it isn't you, you'll lose interest in that question. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it's
The question isn't to lead to consciousness, it's to feed Kate. When you recognize that, you'll lose interest in the question, and in a way, you're losing interest in Kate, and that's basically. I would go with that way. I would go that way. Lose interest in Kate. Don't gain interest in wanting to know why. Lose interest in Kate. Yeah. Yeah. Again, there's two movements. Yeah. The why increases in interest in Kate. Yeah. Asking who's Kate may decrease in interest in Kate. Yeah. There
Totally.
you go.
I mean, I've been, coming to satsang of some, kind or another for many years, and this is like the last bullshit through the back door is me just wanting to know why.
Yeah.
And my sense is that that's really keeping me in the illusion that I'm stuck.
Well, no, see, it's not. You're not in the illusion. The head's saying you're in the illusion, but you're not in the illusion. I'm serious. You're not. You may be the one blowing the illusory bubbles, but you're not in the illusion. Seriously, you're not.
Well, that's a relief.
The head has like a hand puppet with your little face, and it goes on to all these little journeys, gets caught here, gets caught there, you know, you know what I mean? Then wants to get out, and then it gets out, and then it talks about how it was in. This is all what you're not. That's the whole thing. Non-duality is negating that two-ness, the two-ness between experiencer and experience and experiencer, not two, yeah? There's experiencing for sure, but is there an experiencer having an experience? Well, from non-duality's point of view, not two. That would fall under that category, right? Experiencer, two-ness, out, not two. Yeah? Da. See, this is the thing. People believe when it's said there's no experiencer, they believe they're negating experiencing. No, that's not. We're not negating experiencing. That's what's happening. We're just looking. Is there a one that's doing it or being happened to? I don't know. Find out. Yeah, and then maybe you'll travel through the life of experiencing much more. You'll travel a lot lighter than the narration of being the experiencer. I know for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
for sure. So, yeah. See, what's cool here, we come to these talks. I, I, uh, these are like black holes in my experience as Paul. Absolutely nothing happens for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I don't come back with anything. No one even asks me, was it good or not anymore. When I go on tour, when I get home, no one asks me anything because they go, how was it? It's over. I don't know. There's nothing to get out of it. It's such a wild event, so to speak. Yeah, because I definitely didn't show up to give the talk. That's fucking for sure. I remember when I thought it was me giving the talks, I felt this pressure to get better. I got to go back to meditating and generate a loving gaze or something. But the message, whatever was coming through, told me no. Just keep reading Yankee blogs and fucking going to thrift stores and keep yourself fucking mundanely busy, and we'll probably put you to good use. I haven't gotten a change of directive since. So no, this is not. There's thinking, there's all that, yeah? But there's just no thinker, yeah? I wouldn't say there's thinking, there's thoughts, yeah? Thinking implies that the thought is a product of thinking. There's no thinking. There's thoughts, yeah? There's thoughting, let's say. Yeah? There's doing, there's hearing, there's seeing, there's feeling, there's tasting, there's touching, there's ruminating, there's feeling optimistic, there's feeling crestfallen, there's tons of things happening all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Where does it say, where does one of those things ever proclaim there's a Paul? Paul isn't proclaimed by experiencing. Paul is proclaimed by the claiming of experiencing. Yeah. A fucking weird aberrant programming claims the experiencing to imply an experiencer and the experienced. It's the definition of a dualistic binary system, yeah? When confronted with what's happening, it turns it into two aspects, yeah? It interprets it that way. And we're just saying, how can you use that which is programmed to see two to look for one? Have you ever gone as Kate or Paul, gone to a week-long "You Have No Free Will" seminar? 12 hours, complete evidence that you have no free will. But don't you feel like you have free will? Doesn't Kate feel like it has free will?
Yeah.
To me, that's a waste of fucking time. Trying to convince the programming that's based on free will that it doesn't have free will. Fucking move on. Let's see what we're not. Yeah? When you try to apply what you are to what you're not, it just frustrates what you're not. Doesn't it? Oh fuck, now it has this weird counter narrative when it went to the to coffee place thinking it wanted a latte and they suddenly orders a mocha. It just fucking produces smoke out of the ears of the programming. What? It's just, yes, it's almost like sadistic. It really is. Why do you want the fucking thing to suffer any more than it is? Yeah? Start telling it what it really is. All you are is consciousness. It just can't take it. It can never live up to those ideas it has about consciousness, can it?
Right. Yeah.
Just leave what you're not to what you're not, yeah? And then see it from what you are. Instead of looking for what you're not. How difficult of a move is that? Yeah? And how do you get there? You recognize you've been doing the former. You've been looking for what you are. You're studying what you are from what you're not. Turn it around. Study what you're not from what you are. See what happens. You're never going to read an 800-page book because it doesn't take long for what you are to see what you're not. It doesn't. It's going to take fucking forever for what you're not to even get an intellectual grasp of what it is. Yeah, isn't it? That's the easier, softer way. Hey, to describe the indescribable is fucking tough, but how hard is it to describe the describable? It's not that hard. All you got to do is see it. Yeah? And we have that quality. You can see selfing. You can see it. I mean, you don't have to see. I mean, it comes in bigger sizes, bigger amplification, smaller, but it's the same old, yeah? Yeah? So studying what you're not from what you are doesn't lead to thousands of pages of reading. You just see it, yeah? You see what you're not. And what you're... you just... I mean... You know, sometimes I hang out with people. That's a big mistake. But sometimes I hang out with people, and then it's time. Sometimes we go into the mental candy, you know. Let's get into the metaphysical, 11th dimensional dreaming and this and that. Yeah, I used to love that years and years ago. I have no interest. It's like it produces like cavity in an empty tooth already. Yeah. Just hear about what you're not for a while, and then maybe there'll be a distinction. Is the distinction real? No, because all there is what is. but in this weird game, you've got to see the other side of the coin. Yeah?
Right.
Yes? If you're calling the tail side of the coin and you're seemingly at the head side, you need to see the tail side, yeah? And then you throw the fucking whole thing out. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, anybody else want to raise their hand?
Natalie's trying to raise a hand. She's prone. Oh, she's getting up now. She's rising from the grave. Natalie.
Hi.
There you
Hi. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I want to share how it happened here. And it was on Thursday that I was waiting eagerness to see your meeting, yeah, on Wednesday. It came late and I was like upset, like, oh, maybe Paul is sick and cannot come to the meeting, or what's happening? And it came late. It came late. I was waiting the whole day. It came late when I was going to bed. And I have this habit to listen to you also when I'm going to sleep. So at some point I can say that was one of your best meetings, I think, one of your best sharings on Wednesday. It was like amazing. And happened that I just got swallowed in this space again. Like I drawn in your words, in your sharing, and everything disappeared. Like I saw, like there is no really. It's a confirmation that came that there is no self. There is not the good side of me, not the bad side of me, not and like a reassurance that is just I don't know how to describe it. It's for me, I use the great spirit word. I like it. And it's we don't have any will. I mean, some downloads came. I can call them downloads. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a play. It's just a play. That it's amazing that this is this great spirit is transmitting this message through you. It's like I got the aperture opened, like you say. I felt like the aperture opened. It's amazing. There was not even an eye saying, "Oh wow, this is happening." It cannot stand it. It cannot. And then I was saying, okay, let's see. Well, that's afterwards, on the next day, there was no thinking about, I'm gonna do this now, I'm gonna do the other. It was like I was like kind of flowing, like kind of getting guided from this great spirit, and it was so nice. I went to the lake. Usually I don't go where people are because I don't like, I'm mostly alone and I don't like it. I didn't bother. And then I went inside and usually I'm not used to swim in the lake. I have a little bit fear. I want to see the bottom. I like the sea. And I just went and swam and I was so happy. I was just singing alone and I was like, and yeah, I honor this because I really honor it now that I can feel it. Like it's a great spirit taking care of all of us, and it's all fine. That's what I can say right now. It's what I can say. I'm blessed that while this space was opening up, and I came to find your YouTube. So I also finished with my spiritual journey. Let's say when this which is not an experience. It has us all. It's like we are in it. We are. Um, it's like this is having us, kind of. Yeah, like it's there is no time, there is no space. It's like eternity. Like it's just this. That's all. I was like, I was trying I was trying to this afternoon. I was trying to, I have to share it. I have to share it, and I was like trying to put a speech together, but it came out differently. Well, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to put it out there. That's is just amazing. It's just amazing. And,
Honey, don't worry. You're putting it out there. Don't worry.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah. It's when last week I have when you slapped me again with this fucking dream catcher or whatever. I had an incident. I had an incident that the good part of me was the good self was, because I was like the self was hiding behind. I'm aware. I'm conscious. I'm gonna save everybody. I have to. That's I'm above or something. And I catch myself defending this part, and then I realized I said to the Great Spirit, help me, because I get it intellectually, but I don't feel it really, that I'm not this one. I'm not the good one. I'm not the good one that has this intention to help people, you know. And when I found myself in this space, uh, it all disappeared. There's no use of it. We cannot do anything. It's in its course. It's doing what it wants. It's
Hey, Natalie.
fine.
Natalie. I have to stop for a minute. I'm going to switch to my phone. I'm down to 1% on this Zoom. I got to switch to the phone.
Okay.
So I got to put the Zoom on my phone. It's dying on the iPad.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
I'll catch you in a minute. Hey, Mike.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, the iPad's going to die. I'm going to just do it on the phone.
Okay.
So hold on. Yeah. Let's see.
Just plug you never got a good charging cord?
No, this thing is dying. I'm up to 1% now. So I'm just going to use the phone until it burns out. Hold on.
Where's Amelia?
Pushing
Amelia's with the kids. She's with the kids. That's why all the charges are burnt.
Oh. You haven't done it
It's
on your phone
everyone.
before?
Everyone's hunting for Wi-Fi here at the house. Hold on. So we can speak for a second. I just have to update the Zoom on the phone too. Thanks, Natalie, so much for your presence. Yeah.
Well, while you're
So
busy,
just hold on.
I want to I want to echo Natalie with what I'll call thank you. At the beginning of the meeting, there was some feedback, and Andre mentioned as a funny echolocation, and that came up, and you've been mentioning echoes during the talk too. So
Yeah.
just, or kind of like when Kate was talking about why, like when we get the echo, getting stuck in the echo of why, as opposed to letting it
Yeah.
out, like where I see it now as a mechanism of the dreaming, right? So there's nothing wrong with it, but so like to be able to share that is a nice way to echo it. And like I was fascinated to find out relatively recently that the Narcissus myth actually starts out with the nymph Echo. So, and I never, you know, like
What
our
was it?
fascination with the Narcissus myth is kind of narcissistic. It's only about Narcissus, but it starts with Narcissus being in love with, Echo being in love with Narcissus, and that doesn't get requited because, of course, the self-image gets stuck. So her need to have love from so-called other is a dead echo, and then Narcissus gets stuck in the really close echo of the visual reflection, right? But he turns into a flower because at the bottom of that, or through that, like bottoming out, like in recovery, you see past the reflection at the surface level. So the echo goes deep, so to speak, to nothingness. So that's why I wanted to thank Natalie. It's like I wanted to echo that nothing. Thanks, Natalie.
Wow. Next time I want to thank a barista for the coffee, I'm going to go through that whole process.
Yes, hold them hostage. Make sure they stay in place.
All right, I'm going in here, I think. Hold on. This one won't give me. What's the ID number?
Oh my God. Okay. Let's see.
Hold on, let me try it again. Hold on, let me try it this way. Just stay with us, folks. I'll be there in a minute. Thanks. Let me go to this one.
I don't have the ID number on the web page.
I'll put it in the chat, Mike.
Oh, you did? Thank you.
I think I'm coming in now. Yeah, I think I've got you now. All right.
There's the echo.
Well, see, there's an echo. Oh, that's cool. Hey, try to record that.
It's recording. Hey, Andre, are you enjoying the echo theme? Absolutely, bro.
Mike,
Hi, there you are.
can you hear me now?
What? I see your name, iPod, but I don't see your face. Don't hear you. Oh, and Keith, our friend Keith is here. He's wearing our Self Can't Get Out of Self shirt. Hey, Keith. Well, maybe his iPhone's not going to work. I wonder if I can... Sharon, are you asleep?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, good. I don't
We
think
just
I
woke
can
Sharon
do a
up.
video right now. Any other questions? I can see you, though.
Okay. Anybody else want to raise their hand?
I guess we've heard enough, yes. No one else?
Nope. Anybody waving? I don't. Oh, no.
It won't even let me get a video. I don't know why. Hey, listen, why don't you, Mike, do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you say goodbye to everybody?
Sure. You mean
I
while
can't
you're on?
see them. I like to check them out usually.
Okay. So you want me just to say their names for you? Oops.
No, just say goodbye to them. Tell them I'm sorry. I don't have, yeah, this whole thing, my whole iPad died, so. All right.
Well, bye.
Why wasn't, you just
You.
won't let me in
Oh,
access? Hold on.
if you go into settings in
Yeah.
privacy, you can get on the camera.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
because I
Settings.
just had on the privacy.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me find privacy. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just had to do the same thing because I'd never done it on my phone till tonight.
What do you do? It just comes up,
If
privacy.
you go on privacy, then scroll down to camera,
Oh, yeah.
and then if I think it has the
Yeah,
zoom thing. you put it on to green for Zoom.
Success. Deep dive.
I don't know. It's just
So exciting.
Who's with you, Sarah?
my friend Tawny.
Hi, I'm a newbie.
Hi.
I know nothing. I am nothing.
Good.
That's a good place to start.
I just is.
Stay that way.
Stay that way, you said. So damn hard trying though. Lucky I have a short attention span, so I zone in and out quite easily.
Paul is mute.
Yeah.
Where's that? I think it's just his backdrop.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've returned from
Rock on.
the dead. Only Zen bitch. This only happens on Zen bitch slap. Oh, this is nice actually. So, no one have any questions or what? Stefan has gone to sleep. That's good. Mickey. Oh, Stefan's moved his life. Dennis. Richard and Etta. Yeah.
Paul, can I ask a question?
Yes. Who is this?
Sarah.
Oh, that's Sarah had a self-interest in getting this camera working.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Well spotted there.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's just a finicky question, but it's about the monogamy thing of do you think it matters watching other non-dual teachers in any way? Once
It
you
does
know
what?
the trick of, does it matter watching other non-dual teachers? Once you're kind of aware to the thing of which way round the message
Yeah, I
is
don't know.
being
If
given.
you like to do that, I mean, it would continue, but I haven't looked at anyone. It's more for me personal. I don't want to hear other people because maybe I could understand what they're saying, but it wouldn't be coming out of the private bakery, so to speak. So I haven't listened to anyone in a long time, except for Amelia, my girlfriend.
You have no choice about it.
So, yeah. But I don't know. I joke about it with people because I don't know. Sometimes if you get too many pointers, you're just confused, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my feeling. I mean, I digested hearing non-duality to a certain point.
Yeah.
I remember the day, the minute exactly when I knew I would never ask another question. And so things had their time, but it didn't. The time expired, and then you move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if you at least we try to at least give some entertainment value. So.
Yeah. No, it's because I literally, this weekly thing that's been the joy of lockdown is like an anchor for me.
Oh, great.
And
yeah.
Because the other one is on, I don't know, it's like 3 a.m. in the morning or something. I never do it, the Wednesday one. And
yeah.
So sometimes, I don't know, I do look at other things and I don't know. I know it's still the thing of coming in and out and thinking I need an anchor, but
It's just the neediness.
I see that I'm living lighter, but there's still an idea of, I'm not living as light as I want it to be. I'm grateful for the shift, but there's still,
But thank God you're not that has that demand of it has to be lighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's the loss of interest in the subject, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I remember when it started to happen.
When you say it makes 100% sense and it all drops away. When you say that, every time
Yeah,
And
well,
then I
there
don't
you
know,
go.
after a few days, I forget again, or something forgets. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
that's all right. That's okay, because that which never needs to remember doesn't forget, you know?
Yeah.
You know
Nothing
what
to
I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
That which we are isn't in a state of forgetting and remembering. It isn't. That's duality.
It's not
It's
like
in
we
a
have to
whole
do.
other, there's an aspect of us that's completely contrary to how we think and understand as the action figure. It's pointless to try to, the only way we can understand it is to fit it in our framing, and our framing is bogus. So you just sort of, like, you're like a dog, you know, when they hear something weird, they cock their head. You're in that position quite a lot, yeah? You're like, what? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm not on, you know, basically I'm on a need to know basis. It's not like, you know what I mean? I've got a sense of entitlement about knowing. I think I should know more and shit like that. That's all made up, you know?
Yeah.
Really. So
Yeah.
yeah, do what's working. I hate when people misconstrue the message and makes them starve themselves from what's working, you know, or what they enjoy. I hate that. I hate that, how the mental state will
Like as if
turn,
oh, I should be beyond it or something. Some
or
idea.
whatever. Yes. So just
Yeah.
Shoulda, woulda,
something.
coulda.
If I wanted to, if I felt really good hearing Paul or seeing Paul, I'd be fucking traveling to Northern California to see Paul. I would, if that
Yeah.
was the case. I went to India to see a guy
Yeah.
who, one of the books I read I liked. I said, I want to go see this guy. He was old, want to see him before he died. It was just a natural thing. I didn't say, well, I shouldn't want to see him. What's that? That's insane. I went to see him, and then I got what was, you know, was there. You know, I did a lot of things like that, but I didn't keep doing things like that. Yeah, I would do it, and then they would dry up, and then things change. So people would call me, hey, you missed a great teacher, and I'd say, oh, hallelujah, you know, because I just decided not to go anymore, and stuff like that. So you just, yeah, but we also see your role with us, Sarah. We would miss you if you didn't show up.
That's what I always say.
We have to sort of, because see, the thinking is so small, we don't, you know, our effect on things is you know, it's not always about me, yeah? It's not always about me. Like in recovery, people ask me, well, why do you go to AA meetings? Well, because I'm in the habit of it, but basically I get used there, yeah? If someone came in totally fucked and there was no one in the room, they'd be really fucked for the next hour, yeah? But because we have meetings, someone comes, so it's not like, oh, I'm beyond that. So yeah, no, I don't see it that way. So you play a big role in these Zooms, and we'd miss you if you didn't show up. If you got to show up, that's fine. But if you're enjoying it, that's insane. Why? You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, we got enough shit to walk through all day. When I have something I really enjoy, what do I want to sacrifice that for? That's insane to me, you know? I mean, I'll go in the water at the drop of a hat. I never stop. Oh, maybe I'm going into water too much. It never crosses my mind. I'm going to go in the water as long as I can get in the water. Yeah. It's not like, oh, I better talk to someone about this. I'm addicted to the water. Hey, you could be addicted to a lot of fucking things. The water's pretty good. So yeah. Let's not take ourselves so seriously.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, keep coming back, honey, and bring your anonymous friend with you.
Tuan. Hi, it's Tuan. I'll be back.
Nice to meet you.
There's not this sacred tiptoeing around that goes on with so much of this area of conversation, which just makes me sleepy. But you guys are all sparking around, and I like that.
Ah,
It's really-
good. Well, we're a feisty bunch. Yes.
I know.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
I
you.
echo
It's
you
nice to
both.
see you. Yes, thank you, Sarah. See, it was worthwhile getting back on the phone.
Yeah, it was for me.
I had an easy way out, but I decided
Yeah,
to go back up.
sorry. Yeah.
Did I never even plug the charger in?
Technical wizard.
No, that's true. The charger.
Get out of here.
You know, we have it's funny. It's just funny. One of my girlfriend's kids is into this video game called Fortnite. It's insane. I mean, he's showing extreme addictive characteristics at 10 years old. So he's always, I walk around the house and he's like sitting in front of the door to the bedroom because he thinks the Wi-Fi is better. It's just insane. So he's always switching the charges and giving us ones that don't work so that when he gets back here, he'll have 100%. So you just assume something's in the plug. It should be working, but it's not working.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So,
Terrifying.
all right. I'll see you.
Thanks,
Mike,
Paul.
is anyone else there?
Yeah. a lot
Nice
of
to
us
see you.
here.
Nice to meet you, honey, back there. Mike,
What?
anyone else before we?
No hands, no.
All I have is 4 squares here. Oh, this is a nice square. I got Mike, Servini, Zoe Banks, and Sharon. Let's just get rid of Mike, and we'll have a menage a trois on Zoom. Woohoo!
What's wrong with Mike?
Yeah, I want to kind of do it.
That would have been a quattro. That would have been a quattro. Eh?
Quattro's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a Zoom thing.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, where's Mike? This guy. Sky is our t-shirt czar. Very good job. Thank you. Yeah. Keeping it simple. Just one design on the front. All right. There's Norman. There's Jack something, a beautiful view of water. I think out of his car. Yeah. There's Keith. Glenda O'Driscoll. Yeah. Fritz. Nice to see you all. We got Keith. Keith has made a beautiful web t-shirt in the past.
He's wearing it.
He's wearing it right now. I haven't seen you in a while, Keith. Nice to see you.
Hey, man. Nice to see you too.
George and Mrs. Void is together. They're nice to see them. Jesse, say hello to your mom, Jess. We got Richard and Etta in that order, yes. Elena looking very comfortable today or tonight. Andre is down at the beach again. Dennis, Mickey, Stephen, or Stefan, I'm not sure. Mike, he's the one who does all these Zooms. Sonny, there's more. When there's only one Sonny, there's more than enough Sonny. Judith, nice to see you, Judith. Yep. There's Jess.
You're muted, Paul. You muted yourself. You're still mute. Here, ask him. Try to unmute yourself, Paul.
I got it. Yeah, there you go. It's hard. You need very tiny fingers to do it on the phone. Norman, we see everyone there. Kate, Donna, Yariv, there they are again. I can't go back to these squares. No. We got Christine, Mike, I can barely see his head. Natalie, yep. See you later, Natalie. I don't know if you hear me, Natalie. See you.
He's waving.
Good. Waving, not drowning. Jono, UK. Michael, nice to see you. Drew, I don't know who he is. So Macaulay's the one I can never say. Sukaya, she's behind a plant there. Chris, nice to see you. Gilmore, if I said your last name. Chris Cole, nice to see you there. Kurt and Linda, my fantasy couple, very nice. There they go. Johans, Dimitri, yep. Let me see who else. There's Ted. Alan, my friend. Sarah and her friend are back there. See you gals. Yep. And I think that's it. There's some Sue and other people who are not appearing. Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll be here
Thank you,
Wednesday
Bobby.
night. Yeah, and keep coming back, Sarah. It's fine. And just thanks for having me, and we'll see each other again soon. All right. It's Wednesday and Saturday are the non-duality, and Tuesday, Thursday, AA. We have T-shirts. You can donate on the website, do whatever. And I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Paul.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
Bye, everyone.
It's Paul.
See you
later, man.
Happy 4th.
Portugal, that place.
Didn't it?
So we have to do it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think I'm part of the gang now.
You've got a very patient cat, Keith.
Yeah, he's my bro.
What's the name?
Cody.
Cody?
Yeah.
Hey, Fritz.
You guys have a good night.
Night.
It's 5 o'clock.
Sonny, thank you for the sunshine you gave me. Sonny.
Gotta come on when you sit here.
Hi, Judith.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I dreamt about you last night, Sonny.
You did? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we were in around this table, a few of us, and we were having just a discussion, and just like we are right now. And somehow I was telling you, my favorite spiritual, what is it called? Expression is Hinduism. and then we were talking about what we thought about Hinduism and the culture, and so it was wonderful. It was great, and it was good to see you there.
Oh,
Hi,
thank
Sharon.
you. Thank you for
I get
inviting
that
me
in
to
your
the
dreams
dreams.
too.
Yeah.
Mike, you're still recording. You're still
Thank
recording?
you. I did remember to stop Facebook, but